Hi, my name is Enzo. I'm a chef from Italy, Genova, and I'm actually living at the moment in Waiheke Island, New Zealand. So today I'm gonna show you how to make some bread with just 2 hands and 4 ingredients. Better? Alright, so we're gonna use flour, 500 grams of strong baker's flour, water out from the sink, just be sure that it's warmish, around 30 degrees. I'm gonna use some fresh yeast and flaky sea salt. So these are our 4 ingredients. As a tool, the only thing we're gonna need is just a fork, couple of spatulas, plastic one for working, a metal one for cutting, but you can always use this one all the time. And if you have a nice scale, could be good, digital one, easier to weight up everything. And if you really want to go professional, you can have a probe, thermometer, sugar thermometer, whatever, just to check the temperature of the water. Otherwise, just feel with your hand. If it's warmish, it's fine. Alright, so first thing first, our flour, we put our salt in. Be sure to put everything, don't waste anything. With your finger, just be sure that the salt disappears, you don't see anymore. Salt and yeast doesn't go really well together, so if they touch each other, they will prevent the bread from raising. I like to use fresh yeast, but I show you what to do even with dry yeast, just use a lot less. It's 1/3 the proportion, so I'm using 5 grams of yeast, you're gonna use probably 2 grams of the dried one. And since our bread is not really hydrated, we're just gonna combine it in here. And when everything is combined together, just pour it over. And now, with the help of your spatula, start combining the ingredients. So, this bread is made just out of white flour. A good idea to find if one is good enough for bread is checking the protein amount on the label. Over 11 should be good. If you have wholemeal flour, they have a lot higher protein content, but it's not gluten, it's just a lot of different type of protein. So wholemeal rye flour are really tasty, but really heavy. So if you want a light and fluffy bread, I recommend you just go crazy with the white strong flour. So keep working your dough until all the flour is absorbed, and then when you start having a resemblance of dough, just put on the bench, spread everything out, use your spatula. Be sure not to waste anything, and just start kneading the dough. So kneading means using your hands to stretch it. So we want to stretch our dough until it breaks down basically and bring it back. This will put a lot of oxygen and air inside here, so the dough will be fluffy, and as you can see, it starts getting kind of like a good consistency. Just keep working a little bit longer. Get with your dough all the flour you have around, so again, we don't waste anything. You just want your dough to be strong enough not to break. So this is still not alright, but we just need to work a little bit longer. Alright, so I worked the dough for around 5 minutes. Might take a little longer, might take 10, 15, don't worry, time is always good for your bread. So now we have a nice and quite smooth surface. If it's not perfect, don't worry, we're gonna use time to help us. So what you're gonna do now is add in a plastic container. If you want a little splash of maybe rice oil, if you have spray oil, go for it. It's just to prevent the dough to stick too much to the container. and we're gonna leave it here to rest for an half an hour. See you later. Okay, so I let my bread stay and brew in the oven. Light on, it creates a nice temperature around 30 degrees, so this is gonna help even in winter time when it's colder. And now we're gonna stretch and fold our dough. So it already proven just a little bit. We're gonna wet our hands in a bowl with warm water. You don't want to have too cold or too hot. Same temperature as the dough, is just normal tap water. And then what we're gonna do is just literally take out our bread, stretch, put in the middle, stretch, in the middle. Do a few times. When you see that the dough is just staying together, we will just put upside down, remake a nice bowl again, and we're gonna leave it back in the oven. Stretch and fold is important for sourdough. For this bread, it's not necessary, but it's a nice technique to start getting used to it if we want to go on higher hydration doughs and breads. So this guy go back in the oven. We see later. In the meantime, I'm doing this bread to show you guys how to do. I'm making some bread for me as well. I'm wheat intolerant, so I'm using spelt flour, not a lot of gluten, and high hydration here. We're talking about 75%. So I'm gonna show you in the meantime how to do another stretch and fold technique. So always wet your hand, put the bread in the middle and literally keep it up until it comes. And we do on both sides. If you have something in your hands, just wet them a little bit more. And again, as you can see, is slightly different than the one we had. There's more water, less gluten, a bit more tricky, but you still just want to make a nice and strong structure of gluten in here as well. Go. Okay, so bread is proof. Now it's kind of twice the size as it was before, so we can just, with the help of a spatula, put it down on the work surface. We're gonna give it another fold. I got my scale, so I'm just gonna wait. And we're gonna divide in two. A little bit more. Alright, and so every time you want to shape bread, we start always from a nice bowl shape of bread. So we make two nice bowls, and then what we're gonna do is one gonna be a big loaf and the other one gonna be a bowl. So for the bowl, we just flatten up upside down. As you see, this is our top of the bread. It's important to keep the top always on top at the end of the work. So we put upside down, giving strength to the back. So we just gonna put in the middle. You can keep with the thumb in the middle. As you go, you will feel the bread getting stronger and stronger and less stretchable. And when you're stretched enough, just gonna remake again a nice bowl. We get enough strength. As you see, the bread stay like that, it won't flatten up, so it's a good one. So we finish to give the last stretch with your finger. Just push it down here to give a nice and smooth surface. With the help of your spatula, you can just put in a tray with baking paper, and this is done. So we can put on the side here. Okay, then to make a loaf, what we're gonna do is again upside down, flatten up your dough, then we choose the length side, fold in the middle, push it down, turn it around, stretch, fold in the middle, bring it up, and just gently length, doing a little bit of folding up and down like this. We're gonna take our tray, a little bit of rice oil, cuddle, and we're just gonna keep in a place that is with no draft, warm. Again, the oven is fine to prove until double the size. So in case you have more bread, so this one is my one, made out of spelt flour, and you don't have enough trays or so, you can set up just a tray like this. So with baking paper, everything gonna be separate and nice, and you just put once in the oven, easy. Alright, so oven is hot. I put a tray with some water inside, so it will make some steam and moisture. I put some cling wrap on top just to make it sure that it doesn't make any skin on it. I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour. This is more just like for an aesthetic reason. It will look a little bit better. Or at least I like it a bit more. Razor blade or really sharp knife. Score it, don't be shy, go nice and deep. This will help the bread to rise properly and not explode and making weird bubbles, so the air can go out. And that's it, this goes in the oven. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes the bread in the oven. Now what I'm gonna do is remove the water. The water keeps everything moist and helps the bread to keep proving and raising and getting bigger. And now taking it out will make a bigger crust. So quickly get in. Take this one, put it somewhere safe, and then we go back. Give it a turn around and leave it for another 15 minutes. Always before you say it's done, keep in your hand, knock quickly, and if you heard the hollow sound, then it means it's ready and cooked. If you have a resting rack like this one, just put on the rack. If you don't, you can leave in the tray and just like this. Okay, so this is our final result. We have two nice breads. So this one here is the first one I cooked, and as you can see it's way too dark at the bottom. That was my first time using the oven, so you always need to learn how your oven works, and mine burns a lot at the bottom, so I just lift one level up. This is a lot better, a little bit is fine, it's gonna be still good. So now that the bread is nice and cold, we're just gonna cut to see how was the result inside. Yeah, my oven doesn't go too high in temperature, so the crust is not too big, but as you can see you have not so much holes as expected by a bread with just this amount of hydration, but it's still quite nice and fluffy, and gonna be quite enjoyable to eat. So yeah, well done.